Hopefully it works. So, I'm Austin.
I'm Shelby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Zach.
Alright, so we're going to talk about Misha Enterprises, it looks like. I think everybody's read the article.
Yep.
So getting started, does anybody have any initial, any way to get started, any ideas where we should start?
So looks like the problem is they haven't been successful hiring the call center managers.
I agree.
They required managers to be degree professionals with call center experience.
And there was another thing I noticed too. The disconnect between people having knowledge how to use the technology and the miscommunication because there's different groups of people working. There's that
right, the people that have been there for longer and the people that have just been hired.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's the new people are better at the database software, and the tenured employees are better at customer service.
Right. So I feel like if they were to find managers that didn't suck, they'd be able to like somehow combine those skills or work together without like that disconnect.
Yeah, I was going to say someone that could probably be like the middleman in between those groups of people would probably be the best bet in getting people and horse together and work better together.
That makes sense.
It also says that the tenured employees didn't have adequate training with the software, so maybe a new training class or something would help them with that.
I agree. And he mentioned like that her head manager said that he wanted to hire people that don't have degrees.
Right, which I think would be fine. It's only a call center.
I feel like if they, I don't know, maybe improve their interviewing process, they could filter out people.
Right, because I mean, it's like a lot of like requirements, and then to find someone who would be good in this position to like bring the tenured people and then the new people together at the same time.
I agree.
Yeah, and people without degrees they might be willing to stay there longer. They're not just looking to move up from there.
Right. Like the one girl.
Sound like it'd be a long-term position.
From a company standpoint, too, that can make them look really well as well. Obviously, giving people who don't have degrees a chance, and then also allowing them to add that onto their resume and expanding it from there, saying that they have experience in this work field and stuff like that, and what they could accomplish if they were to successfully bring people together.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we have to make a letter to send to our client. So Misha is our client.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
So basically just have to tell them what we think, how to like go about the problem.
It looks like the problem is that when Misha was running the company, there was 10% growth per year, and now that she's not, there's 2% growth per year. So
there kind of like sounds like Chauncey isn't the best general manager.
That's what I was thinking.
He's like good at something, but not good at other things.
And I don't know if he pointed out all these issues of why he can't get growth, but is that his fault, or is it really because he's not allowed to do what he thinks is right?
Good question.
Yep. There goes Nick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. My first thought was that it was maybe he wasn't very good at his job.
Yeah. Why doesn't Misha manage anymore?
She's learning how to ride horses.
Oh yeah.
Must be nice.
other
In regards to
than
this paper, then are we looking at like how we're going to properly fix the problem, or at least mention the problem and then also a solution with it?
I think we should. I mean, there's nothing defined here, so I think we should start by defining what the issue is.
yeah, like a quick summary of the problem and then go into detail of the solution.
Okay.
So there's a couple problems, right? But they all stem back to the growth. They say growth isn't as good because of one, possibly Chauncey, two, managers like call center managers, and then three, training for the technology, and then four, they don't have enough time to get to know each other, right? So they don't have enough time to. Oh, you back? Yep. All
Yeah,
right.
sorry, my internet's really acting up today.
No, you're good. You're good. We're recording, so you can play back and hear what you missed. I was gonna say four is that they don't have enough time to communicate and get to know each other and share information. So maybe they could, I don't know, have picnic lunches or something.
That'll come down until like middle managers, specifically like I guess Chauncey in this case, not doing a good job of making sure that initiative gets taken and getting to know each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
This meeting has to be an hour. Is that what she said? Or she said it shouldn't be more than an
I don't
hour.
think it has to be an hour.
Because we're gonna have to talk about a couple other things. Well, I don't know how we're gonna stretch this to an hour.
It also said they were having trouble retaining sales employees, so maybe if they like adjusted how they compensate them, like more of a what do you call it, a commission, maybe that would help keep people there.
That's not a bad idea. I like that. And maybe they don't stick around because they don't have time to interact with anybody else. Interacting with your colleagues is another big part of wanting to stay. So maybe those two things could help.
Yeah, I don't think it's mentioned in the article, but commission for the sales employees, was there any commission given when what's her name? The female manager, when she was there before she chose to ride horses, was there commission given then compared to when Chauncey is now? So that's something I don't know if that's. I don't think it's brought up, but it's worth mentioning if anything.
Okay.
So maybe we should like change Chauncey's position to the things that he's good at, and maybe bring someone in with him to do the things he's bad at.
It's not a bad idea.
Because he isn't terrible. Like he said, he's skilled at selling contracts and gaining new business. And then he's responsible for profit and loss and cash flow.
Mhm.
And he's been there for 10 years, so it doesn't sound like he really wants to leave.
Yeah.
Besides that he's like mad he can't change a few things.
But it's interesting. He's in charge of, getting new contracts or finding new business, but the growth went down. Why is that?
True.
Because that would be directly him, right? Or would the call center managers somehow play a part in that?
And I think they both can play a role between the manager line of following up with the call center, making sure they're getting things done, and then also then obviously on the call center as well. So that could probably go both ways. I feel like it's a topic that could be written both sides of it.
Yeah.
So should we keep Chauncey or just get rid of him?
I think your idea of hiring somebody else to go with Chauncey was a good idea because it sounds like he might just have too much responsibility because he's doing all the financial work and overseeing operations. So maybe somebody to oversee operations while he does
Yeah.
the sales and gaining new contracts and stuff. Maybe that would help. And then the other manager could train the call center employees.
And keep an eye on.
Like more comprehensive training.
I agree.
Yep.
So it sounds like we should put the tenured employees through like a training, something for their new technology or sales software.
Yeah, it sounds like there is an overlap, so we definitely need. I would suggest that. I agree. And then the newer employees that know how to use the technology, but not customer service.
Yeah, maybe like so maybe those who know how to work with the software can work with them, and then in return, we can kind of like talk about customer service. Because it seems like the only disconnect is that they don't have time to talk. It's not like they're mad that there's new employees or anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You think maybe like new hires could shadow a tenured employee maybe, and they would be able to get more of the idea of the customer service side and get to know them a little bit better maybe?
Right, that makes sense.
It's a good idea. Because there's like a bond when you train with someone or you feel responsible for them.
Right.
I think these are all noteworthy stuff that can be used on the paper. I mean, they all bring up good ideas. They're not really like too conflicting of one another either. So.
Right.
And they all kind of work together too.
Yep, definitely.
They really do.
Yeah.
So is it true then that this has to be an hour, or was that
I didn't see it anywhere that said that, but
She said set aside time.
Okay.
An hour is good. I don't
How
know.
long have we been recording for?
13 minutes.
yeah.
I think an hour is overkill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean
I feel confident with it. So we addressed what some of the issues are. We came up with a couple different plans on how to address those issues. That's really what we're trying to do, right?
yeah, so I think because we're all still writing our own individual paper, so
Yeah, so we have tons of ideas for us all to use.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like we covered pretty much everything.
All right.
And everybody talked. Well, except for Steven, but tried.
If you don't come to this, I think it says.
Yeah, I think you get 0 on the entire project.
So the actual questions we were supposed to address, I just found them. How should Mila handle the managerial employee turnover problem?
Okay. And
So, did we really say something about that? Oh yeah, just maybe take back the requirements of the college and whatever else it was to find someone who
It
wants
doesn't really mention like the benefits or anything. Like maybe if they had a better benefits package or higher pay, they would keep more people. But
Right, and then Excellent. But okay, then the next question is, how would you design training and how would you test whether training was successful considering the disparity of skills in the workforce? So we would have the new employees shadow the tenured ones. And then, so we could implement like a survey technology of our survey technology of like when after the call, like you can stay on for the survey or whatever, and we can ask about customer service.
Gonna recap everything and make sure everybody's on the same page. See where everybody's at. That'd be a good start.
Yeah, so like with the shadowing, we can kind of have it go both ways too. Like, the new people watch the old people for the customer service, and then at the same time, they can kind of help with the technology.
So
kind of like 2 different ways.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty natural. The younger people just kind
We
of.
can like have a competency test too, like with the technology. So like after the shadowing training thing is done, we can like see if anyone retained any information.
Yeah, I think we could also say that maybe the tenured employees just need to retrain on the software because it says that the software was brought in when a new call center manager was being hired or being recruited. So the training was not as thorough as originally planned. Maybe once they got the new call center manager, they could retrain, like do the thorough training that was originally planned. So they would at least be more confident in the software to start.
Another thing they could do instead of, well, in addition to the training, if people are coming and going, is get some people to develop like step by step for their processes with the technology. Take screenshots, picture it, so that you can something people can reference to if they need it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and the third question is, what can be done to help the employees build rapport so the tenured versus newly hired divisions are less obvious? So that kind of covers the same what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
So
that was it. Just 3 questions.
What was that?
It was just the 3 questions.
Yeah, 1 second. It says in the closing, cite the benefit of your recommendations in a succinct, truthful, and tactful manner.
Wait, what? Truthful and tactical manner?
Yeah, so cite the benefits of your recommendation.
Okay.
So basically, we just like elaborate on what we have already said, pretty much.
Okay.
So you keep in mind that since you are consulting, you wish to land future business from Misha. So we want to establish our credibility for future projects through your skillful analysis and solutions. So maybe we just like sound like we know what we're talking about.
Is there a way we could say we're going to focus on these points so that we can show that we've made improvements or that you've made improvements by following our consultation?
That makes sense.
Performance indicators, like growth
Right.
would be one of them. We'll check back
So,
and see where growth is at or something.
Yeah, so like maybe like the competency test for the software, the surveys for the customer service, and then like watching the growth.
That's 3 good ones, I like that.
And then maybe we should like put in like where we want to see growth at and what time frame. So, like, the training probably like maybe like have like set a week of training for the employees so they have time to. So it's not like rushed through like it sounds like it was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then like maybe give it like a month or two and see where the growth is at then, along with like our surveys.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So yeah.
It sounds like we have pretty good structure of what we're gonna write to Misha.
So we'll have like 2 general managers or whatever Chauncey's position is.
Yeah, I think we said we did one look over finances and then over operations.
Right.
Yeah.
Or would he be more sales slash finance, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if we should demote, if we should suggest demoting him, you know, but have someone underneath him that oversees operations.
Right. Yeah, so just like lessen his workload so he can focus on what he's good at.
Mm-hmm.
And then bring someone in for what he's not good at.
Because it does say there was a lot of growth, right? So I mean,
Says it was down from 10% per year to 2% per year. So maybe letting him focus on the financial side instead of the operations would let him get the growth percentage back up to where they want it to be.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then I was referring to more of overall growth, where it looks like they had a decrease in financial growth because of performance, but overall maybe their financial growth dropped because overall they had more people, more business growth overall, and they just weren't able to keep up with it. Maybe, you know.
Yeah.
So hiring an extra guy would be justifiable.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It sounds like they're doing better when it was like their tenured employees without the new technology, and then when they brought in the new technology, it kind of like we said, disconnect.
Mm-hmm. So, does that kind of wrap everything up? Did we answer all those questions that you found?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll write our papers, and then next week we'll do this again and talk about our papers, right?
Alrighty.
All right. Sounds good.
Cool.
That was
Thanks,
nice
guys.
meeting you.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.